it seems the further into meditation that you get, the more challenges that you may face. I think a big reason for this is it helps us to grow. If we really never faced any adversities at all, it would be very easy to not grow as a human being, and definitely not as a spiritual being. People always feel better when they've achieved something that is difficult rather than when they have had something that was real easy or given to them. And this also goes to a higher extreme, and that is where when you think you've really made progress, when you think that you have meditated at a very high level, you probably have. But then the very next day or soon after, maybe something will happen that demands your attention. Somebody gets sick, or somebody needs help, or something unexpected happens, and it forces us to continue to cement and put our roots down into the meditation. So don't be discouraged when that happens. It's very common, and it's happened many, many times. So when that does happen, look at it as almost like a gift. This will help you to grow. So when we're looking at adversities, we have to look at them as, is this something what kind of reality is associated with it? That's very important, because in a lot of cases, maybe it's something that we've created ourselves, or somebody has created something themselves, and they have us to believe that, hey, they really need help, or this is a big problem, or whatever the case is. Sometimes it is something that needs to be addressed, but sometimes it's not at all. And the only really real way to get a clear look at what it is that we're facing is through spiritual guidance. And that comes from, again, the surrender, releasing, throwing things away. You will get clearer and clearer pictures, not just on what the situation is, but also on the solution. And that is imperative. So, I'm one of those people that I believe in making sure that I get to the correct answer as soon as possible. And the correct answer in a lot of cases is demanding an extensive search. It's much better if you can get it the first time or the first couple of times, because you have an accurate idea of exactly how to solve the problem. I know almost everybody's had this happen where they've faced a problem and they've slept on it overnight, and they wake up in the morning and there's a solution. I guess it's kind of similar, but it's not the same thing. This is more of something where you wake up or within just a few moments, you are given the solution to perform and how to do it. And when that happens, it makes it so much easier to get to the bottom of it, and everybody involved seems like they're very happy with it. So please give that a try. Try your meditation, try your looking at things from a spiritual point of view. And it's almost like coming home for some people when you can see how they react once you've come up with a solution like this. It's like, wow, why didn't I think of that? That's the perfect answer. It's simple, but yet it's what we all needed. So again, that's something good to look at. Another thing that I wanted to mention too is how much time is the right time for meditation. We've talked about this a little bit. Starting out, you may want to do several hours a day if you can. I know that's very difficult for most people, but the more you can do, the better. Coincidentally, I had the time when I started meditating to be able to do an hour or two a day. And there are people that just don't have that. They've got kids and other responsibilities. They cannot meditate for an hour or two. And then as it progresses, you'll find yourself, instead of 1 or 2 hours a day or 30 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day, whatever it is, you'll find yourself meditating throughout the day. And that's a very good thing to be able to do, because you keep pulling yourself into the spiritual realm by meditating frequently. It's very easy to get out of it. And don't worry about that. When that does happen, you can get back into it. You're not going to lose anything. You just have to trust and be confident that you can get back into the meditation at the level you were in. It can take a week or two, maybe even a month to get back, but it does happen if you're persistent. Don't give up. Don't give up on a low spot. And so let's talk about, how do we meditate in small time frames throughout the day. One of the ways that you can do that is whenever it comes to you. So if something, you have an idea, or almost like a little voice, now would be a good time to meditate, or I wish I had time to meditate. That's exactly when you should take a minute or two and go somewhere and just try to meditate. Close your eyes for a minute if you can. I work in an office, and it's very difficult for me to close my eyes because my door is always open. So it's easy for me. I have a whiteboard in front of my desk, and for some reason, I don't know why, I wrote the number 5 in the upper left-hand corner. And anytime I feel like meditating, I look up at the number 5, and I find myself immediately relaxing back into a meditative state. This is really good because I don't have to close my eyes and risk somebody walking in thinking I'm sleeping. So that is just one of the many ways we can be creative. Of course, we should do it before we go to bed. If we happen to get up in the middle of the night, and then also in the morning is the ideal times to do our meditation. So one of the things that you can do is, when you commence meditating, is you can just talk to yourself spiritually and say, okay, please let me get the most out of a short time. Or please let me go straight to a good meditative state. When you do things like that, you'll find yourself going into the state faster and then staying there. Maybe you get an extra minute or two. So this is what to do throughout the day. We'll talk more later about in the morning, in the evening, or in the middle of the night as well, which again, there's nothing wrong with either of those times. It's just a matter of when you can do it. And sometimes that getting up in the middle of the night is a calling for you to go into a meditation to do your spiritual connection. So that is something to definitely consider. Don't look at it like, I can't go to sleep, or whatever the case is. Try to relax, let things just float by, and then go into your meditative state. And we will do a video on that as well. So practice, practice, practice. That's the best thing I can tell you to do with meditation. It will get you there faster, and it is extremely rewarding once you get to certain levels. It's a lot of work, but once you get there, you'll have people asking you about it as well, because they will notice a change in you. Thank you.